YouTube, what's going on? This is Boston Joe. Hey, I just wanted to make a quick couple-minute video. This is, I have another one out there for the Tahoe where the emergency brake on the rear drum holds, you know, the rear rotors are very tough to get off. We're in New England. What ends up happening is the internal piece of the rotor. Actually, let me go over to the new rotor and show you. So the reason your rotor is stuck on those shoes is because the shoes make a nice, you know, actually deepen the surface, and then the rot actually raises up and creates this lip that the shoe has to now get past for you to take off this rotor and replace the rotor. Now, basically, I just want to show you real quick. This is the star adjuster. When you do any vehicle with these types of drum emergency brake, you need to rotate. There's always a hole with a rubber plug in it or some sort of plug. You have to put the vehicle in neutral, and you have to do that safely. I have the car on a jack stand, and I also keep the jack on there, and I have the wheels chalked, so always do it as safe as possible, because when you put this thing in neutral, now the wheels are no longer, you know, the transmission's no longer in gear, so the wheels could actually freely turn, so you have to take all those precautions. But anyways, you're gonna have to get it in neutral, and then you're gonna have to take a screwdriver and go in the access hole and turn the star wheel until it's the furthest these shoes will actually go in. So here's the new rotor that I purchased, and if you look at this rotor, this is the internal piece. Two brake shoes ride on the inside, and the emergency brake actually actuates those shoes against the inside of the rotor, and that's what stops the car when you apply the emergency brake. What the problem is the way the inside wears, especially if you're in New England. You can see, you know, mine is a 2013, a little bit older. Everything's got a little bit of surface rust buildup and everything. So you have to put the vehicle in neutral, find the star adjuster, which I'll show you guys a picture of after I take the rotor off. But even once you back the star adjuster all the way off, these are a pain to get off. So I just wanted to make another video, because sometimes I just been wrapping it with a hammer until enough of the debris falls off and the rust falls off, so that the shoes aren't holding everything back and you can slide the rotor off. I just actually came up with this. Is 2 screwdrivers in the outside of the rotor, and I'll show you real quick. So when you're trying to work one of these rear rotors off that's held on by the shoes, which are the emergency brake, you don't want to pry against, you know, like the shield. This is a shield that protects the inside surface of the rotor from rocks and stuff like that. If you start prying against that, you're gonna damage it. So what I've done, I've taken 2 screwdrivers, and on the inside of the rotor, you actually have an opening. I stuck one in there and one on the other side, and then I've been working the thing back and forth, and then kind of just rotating around and working it way, because the shoes are what's holding it. I've already backed them completely off, but you can see they're still kind of holding it. And this does take a long time. It took me a while just to get to this point, but I kind of worked it back and forth, rotated, worked it back and forth, rotated, worked it back and forth, because you're trying not to pull the shoes away from the inside assembly also at the same time. So I think I'm pretty close. So I'm gonna do it a couple times and try to get this on camera right there. So by having the 2 screwdrivers in there, I was able to basically work both sides of the rotor. Now that we're inside, I'm going to show you what you actually have to do. Now I want to show you how this star wheel actually works. With the rotor on, you're actually going to be turning it with the screwdriver through the hole, but you can see the gap after the star wheel, and if you turn that thing as if you're tightening, that gap has closed up, meaning those shoes are now closer. They're the furthest they are in. That way you can get your rotor off and then your new rotor on. And then with the new rotor on, you're supposed to open them all the way. And don't quote me on this, but I think you back that star wheel off 5 movements of the screwdriver. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't quote me on that because this isn't a video about that. Usually I throw it on, I tighten them, and then I back it off to where I feel like the rotor freely moving. But anyways, this is getting a little bit too long-winded, but at least you've been able to see what's going on inside, why your rotor is stuck on there, and what you have to do, and a couple of methods to work it off. It's this lip that you've got to get past. You want to get that as closed as far as you can, and then you can either use 2 screwdrivers, or sometimes I have another video where I take a rubber mallet and I just hit each side, and I think I have it in neutral, and I rotate and hit it, rotate, hit it, rotate, hit it. I'm kind of liking this new method that I found with the 2 screwdrivers. Little shot of Nellie, guys. She's out here hanging out while I do the last wheel on the Range Rover. Okay guys, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. I want to try to make some more that are just short and sweet. But anyways, thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up icon if you felt this video was helpful in any way. I'd love to have you subscribe, and feel free to make any comments, and I appreciate you watching. Over and out, guys. Boston Joe 620.